Good afternoon. We're going to do number 18. Excuse me, Bryan Denlinger attacking the Trinity. And this is when he's saying, well, is the Father greater than the Son? In the Son's humanity, yes. And that's what he's speaking. When Jesus Christ speaks, often he speaks from his humanity. He hungered, he thirsted, he was tired, like a man, because he was a real man. In anguish of soul, he had a soul. Jesus wept. That showed his humanity. So we'll go here, see if Bryan continues to lose his mind and draw people into hell with him.
Trinity exposed number 18. Is the Father greater than the Son?
So he also questions. Yea, hath God said? Is the Father greater than the Son? Not in his deity. In humanity, he is.
Here's a good one for you.
Here's a good one for you.
Oh, there are three persons in the Godhead.
In the Trinity, yes. If you want to use the term Godhead, that's fine. But Godhead is really technically, in a narrow sense, refers to the attributes of God. God as being God, living God.
But they're just one God.
Yeah. See, he knows the definition. So don't say he doesn't know the definition. He knows the definition. Why? Because the links that he's got on his website are to Trinitarian King James Bible Ministries. The very thing he's attacking, he's still linked to him.
So then, are they separate gods, or how does that work?
How does it work? Well, if you're saved, you know. So it'll be a problem. But obviously you're not, so you can't see. Your mind is so warped that you can't see the how it works. How it works is that there is one God in three persons. How does your idea work? That you're one person that doesn't have a true human spirit and a human soul.
What do you do with this verse? John chapter 14, verse 28. Ye have heard how I said unto you, I go away and come again unto you. If ye loved me, ye would rejoice, because I said, I go unto the Father, for my Father is greater than I.
He's speaking from his humanity. He did everything. He humbled himself. The Father did all the work when he was doing Christ's ministry. He did everything. That's what he was telling the Jews. He said, I'm not doing anything. My Father's doing everything through me. If you reject me, you reject the Father. You're not rejecting me, you're rejecting the Father. Because I'm working, everything I do is from the Father. I do the will of my Father.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Oh, what do you do with that if you're a Trinity believer?
My God. See, this guy hasn't studied the Trinity. See that? See what a phony this guy is? All those books back there, Trinitarian people. Got Gabe Whipplinger back there, Trinitarian. Got Ruckman back there, Trinitarian. All these books, I'm sure he's got Gabe back there. Okay, all these people are Trinitarian. And he doesn't even know the Trinitarian arguments. What do you do with the verse like that? Like that's some hard verse to deal with. No. Because the whole idea is that Jesus Christ humbled himself. That's what Philippians 2 is talking about. He didn't do his own will. He did the Father's will. That's what one of my subscribers put. He says, well, Christ was crying out, not my will, not my will, but thy will be done. He was doing the will of the Father. He didn't want to go to the cross and drink the cup. But he did the will of the Father. And that's humanity speaking.
Spell it out for you here. A Godhead believer.
Spell it out for us.
Believer says, very simple. The soul is greater than the body because it doesn't feel pain. The soul is eternal.
What? The soul is greater than the body because it doesn't feel pain. What? Where did he get that from?
Because it doesn't feel pain. The soul is eternal. Very simple. The soul is greater than the body because it...
What's he reading there? The soul is greater than the body because the soul doesn't feel pain. Wow, this guy's gone into Looneyville. I never heard that one. The soul is greater than the body. The soul is, he was putting out videos saying the soul and the body are connected, and then when you picked up something, the soul was picking it up. Now he's saying, oh, well, the soul is greater than the body because the soul doesn't feel pain. Well, the soul is immaterial, but it's integral to the body. And that's not the reason why Jesus Christ said that the Father was greater than him. He's not saying because he's the soul. He's saying it's because from his humanity, he was obeying God the Father.
Doesn't feel pain. The soul is eternal. It's up there. There's no temptation to sin or whatever else. Obviously, Jesus saying, "My Father is greater than I." He's equal to the Father. There's countless scriptures on that.
He's equal to the Father. Well, how can we call him greater then? Look at this guy. He's obviously equal to the Father, and there's countless scriptures on that. But he's saying he's great. The Father's greater than I. And he's going to say it's because the soul. Well, he said if it's equal, the body can't be equal to the soul then. If he's saying the soul is better than the body, then how can the body be equal to the soul? The guy's cracked up.
But he's saying my soul is, my Father is greater than I.
Yeah, because he's speaking from his humanity. Deity is greater than humanity. That's what's being spoken about here. Wow, Looneyville boys, boy, oh boy.
Well, my soul is greater than my body.
It is. You just said Jesus Christ is equal to the Father. So now you're coming back and saying your soul is better than your body. Well, how could be countless passages saying Jesus Christ is equal to the Father when you're just now saying the soul is better than the body? Doesn't fit. What fits is that Jesus Christ had two natures, and from his human nature, the Father was greater than the Son, not from his deity. But in his deity, he was equal. He contradicts himself. If he says the soul was greater than the body, then Jesus Christ would never be equal. As the body, Jesus Christ would never be equal to the soul. See, I mean, this guy can't think. It's a second-rate mind. His brain is shot.
Okay. Not really difficult.
It's not really difficult. You said there are many passages where Jesus Christ is equal to the Father. And now you're saying the soul is better than the body. Well, then Jesus Christ could never be equal to the soul. And yet you admitted there were passages that say that Jesus Christ is equal to the Father. And what way would he be equal to the Father? As God, who became flesh. That's how he became equal to the Father. So either the soul is better than the body, or the body is equal to the soul. Which one is it? Can't be both. Can't be both. But Bryan just said they are both, because he's admitted there are passages that say Jesus Christ is equal to the Father. How is he equal to the Father? Because he's God. How is he less than the Father? He's man. That's how you explain it. Two natures. Jesus Christ had two natures. One person.
A Trinity believer, God the Father is a greater God than God the Son.
No, we don't say he's a greater God than God the Son. You nutcase. See, Trinitarians never say that. We say in his deity he's co-equal, co-eternal with the Father. His humility, his humbleness was his flesh in taking the nature of man. That's what his humbleness is, his humility, where the great Father is greater. That's what Philippians 2 is speaking of. He humbled himself. Did not make it robbery to be equal with God, but humbled himself even to the point of death.
What else can you do with the verse?
What else can you do with the verse? You can understand the Christology of the person of Christ, which he doesn't understand. He gives Jesus Christ, the deity, God the Father, the soul, and God the Holy Spirit, the Spirit. That makes Jesus Christ not a real man. He didn't have a human spirit and human soul. And then he says, well, the many passages says the Father is equal. Jesus Christ is equal to the Father. And this ignores those. And then moves on and says, well, the Father's greater, the Father's greater than the Son. And tries to say, well, Trinitarians can't handle that. No, we Trinitarians handle it very well. In his deity, he's co-equal with the Father, co-eternal. It's his humanity where he's humble. He's humble. He's less than the Father. And that's how he operated on earth. He never used his own deity to do his own will. He always obeyed the will of the Father, even to the point of death. But of course, you have to actually think a little bit and understand these things, which Bryan has never done. Bryan hasn't read anything behind people. Bryan is not a reader. Bryan is an internet guy. He goes on the internet. That's what these people today do. And he just goes through the internet and runs around the internet. In order to actually be a thinker, you have to read, because you have to think about what you're reading. He doesn't understand the Trinitarian view. Everything he gets from the internet. That's why he's just contradicted himself. He admitted the Father, the Son and Father, Jesus Christ is called equal to the Father. Many scriptures said that. Well, then how are you saying that the soul is greater than the body then? It would be either the case in every case or no case. But those contradictions don't bother him because his mind can't handle. He's just worried about the Trinitarian view, which he can't understand.
You can't do anything else with it.
No. Jesus Christ is a perfect man. That makes him less than the Father. He's doing the will of the Father.
The Father is greater than I. Okay. One's a greater God than the other.
No, not a greater God. See, he doesn't understand the two natures of Jesus Christ. The two natures, both being God and man, coming together and form one person. He doesn't understand that. See, it's too deep for him. So, if he actually read any works that actually explain theology, he could put it together, but he can't, because he's never read anything, never studied.
How's that work out?
How does it work out? Well, it works out fine, because certainly it can be understood. You've contradicted yourself by saying there are many passages where Jesus Christ is equal to the Father, and now you're saying that the soul is greater than the body, and that's the reason why it's better than the body. Well, the fact is that it's either the soul is either better than the body or it's equal to the body. And according to Jesus Christ, there's many passages called equal to the Father. So, in what sense then would the soul be better than the body? It wouldn't be. Those passages talk about the different nature of Jesus Christ, the humanity of Jesus Christ. That's what's being discussed there. The deity of Jesus Christ is always equal to the Father. And what in humility, what Jesus Christ did when the Word became flesh, he took on the nature of man, the true nature of man, the complete nature of man, and did everything man did, was willing to be tempted and suffer all the things that men suffer, all the emotions, all the aspects, and yet remain God. The person of God, the two natures never overlap and never mix. That's too deep theology for Bryan. It's called the hypostatic union. I know it's a big word, people get all freaked out. But that's it. That was another doctrine hammered out by the councils that all major denominations have accepted along with the Trinity. See, these doctrines bleed over into other doctrines. This is the person of Christ. This is Christology. His Trinity doctrine is affecting his Christology doctrine. And it's going to affect his soteriology doctrine. And his anthropology doctrine. All these are bleeding over. And no big words, but the fact is it's the Bible. But this is all hammered out. Who was Jesus Christ? What was his person? He's the God-man. He isn't feeling God in any way. Now the aliens will teach that because he's a created God. Now, even they won't admit that. But if you're created God by their definition, if you're created, you'd be subordinate to the Father by the fact that you're created. That would make you an inferior God. But that was alienism. What he's teaching is modalism, but he's trying to get around that by saying, well, we're teaching a quicker form of alienism. That's how he's trying to get around it. Trinitarians have nothing to do with that, either one. We say the nature that Jesus Christ was speaking from was his human nature. And that is why, in those contexts, he would appear to be inferior to the Father in regard to his humanity, not his deity. So again, it's Bryan putting up false views, false issues, and lying about what Trinitarians actually teach. Amen. Thank you.